And I'm your host, Cody Van Seelum.
Cody, welcome back to the show. We're gonna do a little bit of a recap. If you guys joined us from Saturday's show, it was an audio only episode of the guys from the top receivers on the 2026 recruiting class. Um, Noah Pollard is doing a great job with that. So if you want to know more and you're recruiting that, you will enjoy the episode that's already in the feed. So go back and listen to that. But on today's show, we're gonna look at a few things. We're gonna talk some Iowa State D line depth today, Memphis to the Big 12, and then Rocco finally getting some national spotlight like he deserves. But today, first we're gonna look at this Memphis going to the Big 12. This was interesting to me. This was shared by Ross Dellinger. I'm from Yahoo, and I saw this earlier. I'm like, wait, what? So we're gonna share that. All right. So this was earlier in the day. So Memphis at the time made a $200 million offer to join the Big 12. We're gonna read a little bit of what this actually entailed. So basically, it says Memphis reportedly offered a $200 million offer to the Big 12 to enter the conference, according to Yahoo Sports' Ross Dellinger. According to the report, it's currently not enough to support at the moment. The proposal from Memphis, one of the most aggressive membership propositions in the college athletics history, features hundreds of millions of dollars in sponsorship commitments to the Big 12 from UM affiliated corporate partners as well as the school, eschewing revenue distribution from the league for at least 5 years. Man. So Memphis President Bill Hargrave has spent at least 14 months visiting the presidents and top athletic administrators of many Big 12 schools and individual on-campus meetings that have culminated in the membership offer to the league that is expected to be as high as 200 million over the next 5 seasons. So, with that, like at the time, everybody thought that Memphis. It was basically going to be like an SMU deal where Memphis was trying to buy their way into the conference,
Yeah.
and later we found out that it got denied. So there was a core responding. We're gonna go to on three. Um, yeah, and then they said the Big 12 is not interested. So they're not interested in adding Memphis right now, which I think I don't know. I call this foreshadowing, but I think that maybe Brett Yormark is thinking that the ACC might be at its end. I wonder if he's just going to play the waiting game for the ACC possibly to implode, and maybe he thinks that Florida State and Clemson are going to get out their deal early.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think for sure. I think Brett Yormark is definitely looking to add those ACC schools. And the thing with Memphis, this isn't their first time trying to get into the Big 12. I think we talk about
Mm-hmm.
even going back to the Big 8 days and the formation of the original Big 12. Memphis were in talks of being added to the Big 12. And for a deeper dive into the multiple trials and attempts by Memphis to go into the Big 12, there's this video essay I highly recommend our our fans and subscribers to watch. The channel is Dalukes, Dalukes on YouTube. He is a Kansas State guy, but he does a really good job at breaking down college football as a whole. He's done video essays on the SEC. He's done video essays on the Big 12. His most recent video is on Texas State. So he does a really good job with these video essays. And he has a video specifically for Memphis and talking about why nobody wants Memphis. So I highly recommend anybody that wants to know more about the history of Memphis and trying to get into the Power Five conferences, go check out Dalukes. Why doesn't anybody want Memphis? So highly recommend.
Yes, check that out. I just found this to be very, very interesting because I've heard people arguing for this and people arguing against this. So I mean, If for you, Cody, would you be for this move or against this move?
I'd say I definitely would wait. I'm kind of like in the middle, but I feel like I'm leaning towards adding Memphis because I think you still
Hmm.
get because you connect like regionality, like you're able to connect like more teams like together. I mean, the Memphis market isn't exactly the biggest market, but you still get a pretty good basketball program and a really solid football program who has actually done pretty well for themselves. It's just historically speak, the track record's not there. So as much as I would be cool to see Memphis in the Big 12, I don't think it's going to happen just because of the past and there have been multiple attempts to do so, and I just don't see a logical and a viable path for Memphis to get into the Big 12.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. I don't really see a path for them going, and like I said, I think that your market is waiting out to see what happens to the ACC, especially and see how this deal with Florida State and Clemson is gonna all come to a head. All right. We are going to look at this Sports Illustrated article um, that I found on the internet today. I was just getting ready to log into the show on the podcast app that we use, and I saw a article about Rocco Beck. So we're gonna take a look at that. So let's see. Let's take a read and take a look at this. All right. So it says Iowa State's Rocco Beck. Oh, I don't think anybody can see that. I guess it's still on here.
No,
Sorry.
yeah.
Um, yeah, 1 second. I gotta share it again. But there we go. All right, boom. All right. So it says Iowa State's Rocketback earning a lot of respect on the national stage ahead of 2025. All right. So it says there's a lot of excitement in Ames about the 2025 Iowa State Cyclones after nearly capturing the program's first Big 12 championship a season ago. Head coach Matt Campbell's squad isn't without its question marks, but one aspect of the team's fans are confident in the quarterback as Rocco Beck enters his third season as a full-time starter. Beck has received mixed praise throughout the 2025 offseason. Some outlets like his experience, while others are worried about his size. Some give him a solid shot at making noise as an NFL draft prospect. Others don't consider him at all. Still, after leading the program to his first 11-win season and a notable Pop Tarts Bowl victory over college football playoff hopeful Miami last season, Beck comes in with plenty of momentum. And then uh, I saw this. I don't have the Athletic, but the Athletic did a ranking of the top 134 quarterbacks across college football, and Rocco came in at number 14. So obviously, like a lot of people think that he's one of the top 25 quarterbacks in college football. Um, Now, obviously, I think a lot of the talking point that everybody has been talking about. And one of our keys in like the show that me and Eric did that we're gonna release. We did like a 5 keys to a successful season that will be out in the feed probably later on this week. But one of the things we said was about Rocco maybe increasing his passing percentage by about like 5 or 6 percentage points. Um, and and he says that he an athletic director agrees. He says he plays his nuts off, like you saw in those 4 game winning drives last year. Yes, he did play his nuts off. So, like he said that they're in the second. He's in the second tier of quarterbacks according to that list. But basically, it just goes into what he'll have to do this year. And but the fact that he's getting national praise is actually a really amazing thing, especially when Rocco is going into his third year starting.
Yeah, I think this does well for Iowa State as a whole, and does it's great for Rocco Beck to getting the attention that he rightfully deserves. Like he has definitely played his nuts off, and he has shown that he can be a really great quarterback, and he showed it with his leadership, like on and off the field. He's just a great football player, but he's a great guy in the community. And seeing his efforts in the state of Iowa has shown that he does really care about his community, and has shown what a great young man he is. Um, yeah, on the field, there are some things that he has gotten flack for, and we've said it too. One thing that really stood out was those interceptions that lead to pick sixes,
Yeah,
because we did see that against Utah, and then almost, and I mean basically against UCF. So those are a couple things that he does have to fix. I think just getting those passes out a little quicker and getting him like bored to a position where his receivers can get him would be great. And getting that passing or completion percentage to like 63%
hmm
can be huge for the Cyclones over the course of the long season. And yeah, building the chemistry is going to be huge with the new wideouts. Obviously, the biggest questions were with the departures of Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins, like who are really going to really fill those shoes. And obviously, Iowa State's trusting transfers Chase Soul and Xavier Townsend to fill those shoes, along with hopefully getting a fully healthy Daniel Jackson, which I really think if Daniel Jackson is healthy for this season, he will be a huge contributor for the team. And obviously, the tight end room is going to be a really nice compliment for Rocco, getting it down to guys like Ben Bramer and Gabe Burkle.
definitely. Yeah, I agree. And hey, maybe one of these young receivers get it going. Um, who knows? Maybe Brett Skilson comes on the scene. Maybe Don Mowerby takes a step. We never know. That's the thing about this receiver room. I think that's why a lot of national pundits are like sort of a little bit down on Iowa State because I remember I know I was listening to the Solid Verbal um, yesterday, and that's one thing that they have is just the receivers and stuff. Um, and I don't know if you saw Cody, but on Circus Sports, Iowa State is officially a 3 point underdog for week 0. So
I kind of like that for Iowa State. I
I
think
don't
on
know.
paper,
We're always getting underdog
yeah,
spots.
yeah, and I mean on paper, Kansas State should be the better squad. I mean, if you look at it, more hype for Avery Johnson, and I mean on paper, Kansas State they have less questions to answer for than Iowa State do. So it's no doubt that the odds are going to favor Kansas State. But I mean, this is a position where Iowa State like shows that even with all the things they've done, there's still a lot more to do, and that shows. It's like until you start being looked at as a consistent favorite and a team that people can trust to have like put money on or however it goes. But this still shows that Iowa State has a lot things to accomplish, and that's great for Iowa State. And this is a program on the rise. And if if the way Iowa State's trending within the next like 5 to 10 years, you could be looking at a pretty solid team that's consistently fighting for a college football playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean it's as much as I hate to say it, but like we're sort of like coming on the ranges of and we got to get the conference titles, but we're getting basically on the cusp of being like a K State, like
Yeah.
basically almost being the mirror of them. We just have to obviously I'm not saying that we are K State, but like sort of the way that Campbell approaches like team building and stuff like that. I do think that and obviously one of his guys he looked up to growing up and coaching in the coaching circles was Bill Snyder. So that's why he's sort of building it just like a K State.
Yeah. Ooh, the
Uh,
countdown. I mean, dude. The countdown for Iowa State sports is it's just eating me up because I cannot wait to get
what is
back.
it? 34 days now?
I believe so.
Oh man, it's a great thing, man. Um, and I saw that. I know you have the thing up by Jackson Pence. I wanted to look at this article that he saw that I wrote about the D line. I'm like,
Hmm.
because I mean, talking about having this D line talk, really had some thoughts rolling in my mind about what possible rotations that we could see.
Yep. So we take a look here at the Psychophanetic article by Jackson Pence, position preview defensive line. So 33 days. So
Oh,
that's the amount
33
of time.
days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So notable returners for the squad include Dominic Orange, Ike Eziagu, Zamir Hawk, Miles Menazun. Those are the main guys that I would be looking towards to play on that D line. And then you had the additions of Vontre Malone from Tulsa, Tomatua McDonough from Yale, and then the younger brother of former Cyclone Malik Verdon, Trey Verdon, coming in. So I'm really interested to see how the Verdon bloodline continues here at Iowa State.
Yeah, and then and then obviously we have Cannon Butler from Northern Iowa, Markel Chapman, who came in from Highland Community College in Kansas, and if you go up a little bit, Jack Limbaugh was a guy who was a top 75 national edge that we ended up getting over Iowa, and that was a huge recruiting win in last year's class. So I know that the coaching staff did say that they liked Trey Verdon, but I know, like, if you remember um from the from Big 12 Media Days, he talked a lot about Ike Eziogu, but he said that with him, I think he said that he has a high motor, but can it can be consistent.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
like for me, and like if you looked at like the difference of the way their bodies came in from the beginning of the off season or the beginning of the off season to now, right before fall camp. It was I don't know if you saw those pictures, Cody, but it was an absolute transformation of their bodies. A definite great job by Reed Kagi with the strength and conditioning program in the off season. But yeah, Cody had to go away for a second, so we're gonna look at this article a little bit deeper. Um, so yeah, I talked about Jack Limbaugh. Um, he may have a shot to play. I think on this D line, a lot of these younger guys will definitely be able to play. Um, because Big Citrus is gonna need help anchoring the line, and I'm pretty sure they're probably with all the linebacker depth that they have, they're definitely going to uh, probably have somebody down in the stand. So we're probably going to see maybe a mixture and a hybrid of the 4-man front. But I've heard good things about Trey Verdon, though. And I hear that the coaches like are raving about him every single day. Um, so definitely watch for Trey Verdon to be. I look for Trey Verdon to be a definite guy to be in there. And hey, maybe Cannon Butler could be a contributor, mainly because of Bryce Pop, who basically he came in with Bryce Pop, who was the assistant D line coach with Coach Eli Rashid. So I think Cannon Butler will definitely see some time um, on the D line this year. I think it will be more of a rotation. I don't know if there's going to be a set starting lineup. But yeah, I was just while you were going, Cody, I was just talking about the possibilities of what we could see in this line.
Yeah. I think, like you had mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if we still like try to implement more four down linemen, because I think that was something we definitely implemented a little more in the past season, and I would love for that to continue, the trend to continue, that we get more four down linemen, because it's just an adaptation that is required, because we saw obviously in the first few years of John Hickok's defense, nobody could really solve the 3-3-5, but once teams were really able to adapt and game plan for it, it got exploited. So it's just the name of the game is evolution in college football, and I think we're seeing that from Iowa State. They're trying to keep up with teams preparing for their defense. So they're trying to throw in new wrinkles in. I would love to continue seeing some of the linebackers that we have in our linebacking room come down to play on the defensive line.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. Like that would be huge. And if the D line takes a step like we think they will, that will definitely be uh, a boost for this upcoming season. And then, like, I also let's take a look at we did a poll. We did a poll, and basically, as you guys know, if you guys follow the show, we did our yearly schedule prediction show, and I just put up a poll for the for the season, and I wanted to know if what you how good you think we're going to be this season. We had a mix of answers, and obviously, you guys still have until I believe until tomorrow morning until you. Oh, let's look at this. So, according with 24 votes with 10 hours left, a lot of our fan base. So they like this is very very interesting, Cody. We have 41.7% that think it's going to be 10 wins or more, and 58% with 8 or 9 wins. I'm not gonna lie to you. The 41% that think we're gonna win 10 or more games, I think a lot of people are definitely buying into the hype of this team.
Mm-hmm. I think the expectations there, the precedent has been set. We've shown that we can get to those heights, like, and we can actually achieve them. Now it's just a matter of can we do it consistently. And I think the fans that are buying the hype, I think, are trusting that this coach staff has learned from what that 21 season like did, because obviously you still have some continuity with the coaching staff, so they can for sure teach the players we like we didn't prepare for this the first time around. Now that we know what it feels like to have that experience, now you have that layer of preparation to handle the expectations of not just the fan base and the national media, but also yourselves, because
Mm-hmm.
there is a belief in that locker room that they can and they should be playing for the Big 12 championship and going to the college football playoff. That expectation is there for them. It's just about can they do the things that they need to do to reach those and achieve those.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think it really it helps, and I think this is the team that can do it. But it does help that like going or in this off season where everybody is picking Kansas State again, everybody is buying into Texas Tech. You know what I mean? So Iowa State is under the radar once again. So I mean, as much as we want them to thrive when like there actually is when there is something expected of them, this team definitely thrives when they're doubted. But
Mm.
like let's see because I'm really interested to see how this goes. Um, but yeah. But to end the show, um, we haven't uh talked about these guys in a while, but let's give a shout out to our sponsor, MyBookie, and I'm gonna share my screen. So hold on one second.
Once again, my bookie continues to be a great sponsor of our show. As we wind down towards the college football season, we're definitely going to expect a lot more betting to happen. And I don't know if they have it yet, but the big event I'm thinking of right now is the boxing match between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford on September 13th.
Mm, all
That
right,
that
so
that boxing match
boxing.
is gonna be crazy. Yeah, I if the odds are there, dude, I cannot wait for that boxing match. Honestly.
And probably, and that'll be like the night of they have to play Arkansas State. Hopefully, we'll be 4-0.
Hmm.
But let's look down and see.
Yeah, they might not have it yet, but let's keep on going.
No, oh wait. September. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Very early still, so we'll have to see how these odds look as we get closer. But my bookie's favoring Canelo Alvarez, so we'll have to
Yep.
just keep an eye on as we get closer the the fight.
Yep. And then let's look at odds today for the Heisman Trophy winner. So here are the current odds. Um, we'll look at the top 10 right now for Heisman for odds for Heisman for outright winners. We have Arch Manning at plus 640, Garrett Nussmeyer plus 770, Cade Klubnik plus 810, Jeremiah Smith plus 816, Drew Aller plus 1400, Julian Sand plus 1525, Dante Moore plus 7025, Lenoris Sellers plus 1775. I really like these, but Florida Gators quarterback DJ Lagway plus 1950, John Mateer plus 2200, Carson Beck plus 2400, and Sam Levitt at plus 2700. So these are even at like as the favorites. These are still pretty good odds. So if you want to uh, jump in on my bookie and take advantage of these odds, um, it's the time to do it. If you know ball, go and make money. And of course, there are some bonuses that you can also take advantage of. Here are a few of them. You have a 100% crypto sports welcome bonus, initial deposit only, 50% sports welcome bonus, initial deposit only with your Visa or Mastercard, 200 up to $200 cash bonus with initial deposit, and a 150% casino bonus. You can play casino games. You can go to the casino, play casino games right here. All these different casino games that you can win. There's table games, video poker, tournaments. All these you can do all this on my bookie. And here's how you do it. You click the join now sign right here. Boom. You type in when it says who referred you. You type in the Believe in Iowa State podcast, BLEAV. That's how you spell believe. And you put in the promo code MM50. So my bookie has a lot to offer, guys. So if you know ball, go and make money. And do you have anything to add, Cody?
Um, you know why I wore this shirt?
Yes. We gotta talk about that. Yes.
We gotta talk our boys in the summer league.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, Curtis Jones made a great impression in summer league, and he was awarded with a two-way contract. Basically, with a two-way contract, you'll be in between the G League team, which Denver's G League team is in Grand Rapids, and then he will be playing about up to 50 games with the Denver Nuggets actual roster. So he'll actually be in the locker room, and if he plays more than 50 games, he will actually get an actual NBA contract.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about more of the Keyshawn deal, I'm not really well versed in that one.
I gotta take a look at Keyshawn Gilbert because look. So in his last game with the Wizards G League team, uh, he looked like he made some noise. Ended with 15 points off of 7 of 13 shooting with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. So it looked like Keyshawn Gilbert has found his footing um, with the Wizards. I haven't heard anything at the latest yet the with the deal, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I'm seeing this thing on Reddit from about 2 months ago. So this is what somebody said. So this is on NBA Draft Reddit. The question was, why is Keyshawn Gilbert not in the draft? This was for the draft, and basically what he's saying is he's a 6'4" point guard who can score with the best of them. He's an elite defender, and he compared and the comparisons we made, but Keyshawn Gilbert is kind of like John Morant. If you look at the way those two play,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
That
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I
I'm
guess
sorry.
the main.
Can you
Yeah.
say that again?
I'm looking here. Yeah, he did play a similar job, but I think the reason why I think Keyshawn may have not played is because like the age and then just the way the injury Keyshawn had at the end of the season kind of hampered his chances. So, but
Yeah,
I'm hopeful that Keyshawn finds his way onto at least the G League roster, and maybe from there he could potentially like work his way up towards NBA roster. But in the meantime, we have to look out for Curtis Jones on the Denver Nuggets.
definitely. Yeah. And I believe if he's gonna be playing for Grand Rapids, so if for G League, you might want to also check the time if he comes to Iowa and go see him at the Casey's Arena in Des Moines.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a plan.
Definitely, especially if it's I know if it's a weekend where if there's a game and it's like it doesn't start till late, maybe if it's like a Friday night game, I might go. So
Yeah, just drive over to Iowa. That wouldn't be too bad. I'm going to take
yep,
a look here. Okay. I'm gonna be looking at. So I'm looking at the Grand Rapids schedule. Oh wait, Thanksgiving week. Wait, no, that's last year. Whoops, I'd have to take a look. I'm hoping it comes out at some point. The NBA schedule comes out, but hopefully keep an eye out.
yeah, I might have to see because if the Windy City Bulls play in Hoffman, I might and they're there. I might have to go. I might go to that game and go see him play.
Yeah, the thing for me is, do I wear the Wolves or I gotta find something Curtis Jones. I'm gonna have to hopefully find like an Iowa State, or I might just wear the University tee. People understand.
You might as well wear that. Yeah,
But hey, if I could find a Curtis Jones jersey, that'd be great.
yeah, number 25. Yeah, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So today, that is going to end the show of the Believe in Iowa State pod. Today's show of the Believe in Iowa State podcast. We thank you guys for listening. As always, we have some stuff to share with you at the end. We are a top 15 sports podcast in the state of Iowa, nominated by FeedSpot, and a top 50 most listened to sports podcast in the state of Iowa, nominated by FeedSpot. So thank you, FeedSpot, for that. Thank you, state of Iowa listeners. Thank you, everybody. And you can find Cody on Twitter at Matt Campbell Impersonator. Cody, what are you talking about?
Right before the show, I was just rewatching the Iowa State basketball game, the Gold Out game against Arizona for no particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just rewatching like the basketball and football games from the last season just to really get myself into the space of the upcoming athletics calendar.
Dude, I literally watched Farmageddon the other day. Um, yeah. You can follow me on Twitter, Tyler at SciTi Guy. Uh, well, I mean, I mean the Cowboys just went to Oxnard today. Training camp officially starts tomorrow, but I really haven't paid attention to them at all. Honestly, I'm sort of just like it is what it is with them. I have more hope in Iowa State, so my emotional sports takes are going to be for Iowa State, not really with Dallas, because there's just the Cowboys are who they are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got to say about them, and also just watching random games, and listening to former podcasts from last year. But also follow us on social media. Um, yeah, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and also Twitch. We are on Twitch now. The page name for that is Believe in ISU 2025. Believe BLEAV in ISU 2025. That's where we can be found on Twitch. So thank you guys for joining tonight's show. For Tyler Carter,
And for Cody Van Silem,
this is the Believe in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
go Cyclones.